I spent so many nights sleeping on me, but I finally realized I'm all that I need. I'm that girl, been that chick.
Hey y'all, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm showing you how to make 2 quick and easy meals for a 3-day meal prep. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hop in this kitchen. I'm showing you everything I use, down to the seasonings, down to the steps. So you about to be able to make you some meals, girl, okay? So let's get into it.
Hey y'all, so these are all the ingredients that I will be using today. I got most of this stuff from Aldi's and the rest is from Kroger. So first you're starting off, just pouring some water into a pot, and this is the pot we're going to use for our potatoes to boil. So just allow that to boil on the stove on medium heat. I do clean off all my canned string beans, and y'all, I love French style string beans. Those are my favorite. So the first can, I am using the whole can with all the juice inside. Once I work my way to the second can, I'm only using about not even half of the juice, and then the third can I'm using a little bit over half of the juice, not too much. Okay, so once we put that on the stove, you're gonna turn it to about medium to high heat, not too much. And now let's get to our potatoes. So we cutting up the potatoes in like small pieces or whatever. I like to do this just so they can cook faster, because I was pressed for time, and as you're meal prepping, you're making 2 meals at once, so I just need to go a little bit faster, along with putting them in this little spoon, because the water was boiling hot, y'all, and I was not about to burn my hands dropping them potatoes in. So once we go ahead and do that, we're gonna go check on our string beans. At this point, they're boiling with the regular juice, but now it's time to simmer it down and add the seasonings that we're about to use to make it taste good. So these are all the seasonings that I will be using. If you don't like all these seasonings in your food, do what you desire, but over here, if you ain't sneezed it ain't seasoned, and I like to taste my food and I like for it to be flavorful. So these are all the ingredients. Now y'all gonna be surprised by what I'm about to add in next, and these are the key secret to my string beans, y'all. People love my string beans, and I got this recipe from my aunt. So we're gonna use these banana peppers. I had a little bit of the juice, and we're gonna stir it up and just allow it to rest and simmer in the pot. Now once we stir it up, we're just gonna leave it alone and let it sit and do our thing. Now we're gonna move over to the next part, okay? And at that point, I'm just showing y'all the juice color. It literally changes once you add those seasonings in. So now we're gonna make our way to our leg quarters. I've already cleaned them, and now it's just time for me to go in with our seasonings. I do go in with a little bit of olive oil, and I put a slice of butter underneath each leg quarter. I do not spray my pan. I do not add any juice, any water, any chicken broth, none of that, because that olive oil and the chicken and the seasonings is going to make its own broth, and you will see at the end. Now let's go ahead and start on our Salisbury steak. Now we're going to get our ground beef or ground turkey. I typically do use ground turkey, but I just had a taste for ground beef this time, and I go in with a Lipton onion packet, a little bit of seasoning salt, some black pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder, and that is it. And I just mix it all up, and I make sure that it's well mixed. And I do add a little bit of Worcestershire sour sauce just for an extra kick, because I just always add this whenever I'm making ground beef, like burgers and stuff. So I add that, and we do spray the pan for this. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and spray non-stick spray in a pan. At this point, we're just gonna go ahead and grab a tablespoon of, ball it up in our hands, and then we're gonna make like patties, and just lay them flat. And 2 packs got me about this many patties. You see, they're well seasoned, well proportioned. We're just gonna grab each patty and put them in the skillet. Don't overcrowd your skillet. I cook about 4 at a time. And now let's go ahead and make our rice. The rice is self-explanatory. I just put it in a bowl, add some water, put it in the microwave for 10 minutes, and now we work our way to our potatoes. Now with the potatoes, I'm gonna go ahead and mash them up. My potato masher, just keep on mashing, but in the meantime, we are multitasking over here. So we're gonna go ahead and check on our ground beef, and we're gonna flatten them down to make sure that they cook evenly. Now once we do that, we work our way back to the potatoes, and I'm adding a tablespoon of butter and some heavy whipping cream. Now we're going ahead and pull out our blender, and we're gonna mix this all up. You don't necessarily have to have a blender. You can mix it with your hands, but luckily I have a blender, and it makes it a little bit easier. So you're gonna keep blending until it gets to the consistency you like. I like it very smooth. And then I'm gonna go ahead with my seasonings. I'm only using garlic powder, pepper, and a little bit of garlic salt, not too much. Now for the spinach, that's self-explanatory as well. I put it in the microwave, and I only add about black pepper. But now we're gonna check the leg quarters. We're gonna take the foil off and put them back in the oven for about 45 minutes or so, and the oven is on 450. I do cut the slit in the patties just to make sure that they cook evenly and there's no pink inside. Now we're gonna go ahead, remove them from the pan, use that same pan to make our gravy. We are using beef broth and all-purpose flour. Now as you're mixing, you're going to, sometimes you need a little bit more broth, sometimes you need a little bit more flour to get to the consistency that you want. The important part that we kept it in the same pan is to get all of those flavors inside of the broth, so that way it's not like, you know, lacking taste or lacking flavor or anything like that. We all about flavor over here. Now we're gonna add those burgers back into, or the patties back into the gravy, and you just allow it to simmer. Like, you want to evenly coat it, make sure it gets all the way in there with all the onions and the gravy, all the seasoning, and just let it simmer for about 10 minutes or so till it's like bubbling. We're gonna go ahead and pull out our chicken. Our leg quarter jaw is cooked to perfection, crispy, and I told you to make its own juice. Now let's see how the meals look. Look at this. It is so good, so flavorful. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you try this meal. And again, this should last you 3 days. See you in the next video. Bye.